Sundays. So we're going to go through the Sunday shows right now, what happened over there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share to get more content. Make sure to hit that like button so this video can go around more people can see it. Really appreciate it. And make sure to subscribe so you get future notifications on videos. So we're going to go through the Sunday shows right now. The Sunday shows talked about a few different things. Mostly talked about the Brittany Griner trade, talked about Kirsten Sinema leaving the Democratic Party in Arizona, becoming an independent. But I want to focus on one particular thing, okay? I want to focus on the January 6th committee, where they were supposed to be giving criminal referrals to the Department of Justice this week. They said they were doing it. They said they weren't doing it. There was some confusion going around. But that was brought up on almost all the Sunday shows. And I just want to play a 2-minute clip of just a montage of what happened on those Sunday shows, because there's very specific stuff I want to talk about.
Congressman Benny Thompson said the committee will probably make criminal referrals to the DOJ. You have previously called them pointless, but symbolically important. If there are criminal referrals, and I know you don't want to get ahead of this, is it likely President Trump would be included?
Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead there. I'll save that for the committee decision. But look, I don't think criminal referrals are pointless. I think the point on that is that it's very clear that DOJ has decided to take this effort up. The criminal referrals themselves aren't necessarily something that is going to wake DOJ up to something they didn't know before, but I do think it will be an important symbolic thing that the committee can do.
Well, we could be potentially looking at some criminal referrals in a matter of
You wouldn't
days.
go there?
Yeah.
No surprise there.
But I mean, there was a little bit of confusion on the Hill this past week that we will see them. We probably will see them. But look, at the end of the day, Martha, this could be ultimately a largely symbolic move. The DOJ.
Do you think they've made their case against Donald Trump?
Well, look, it is not their role to make a criminal case, although they're making the referral. And I guess people can debate what the value and virtue is of making a criminal referral. I mean, to me, it's largely symbolic, because at the time we first started having this debate about a referral, it wasn't clear how far along the Justice Department was. Since then, the Justice Department has appointed a special counsel.
So what does the committee sending a referral do other than look political?
And I think it makes an important statement, not a political one, but a statement about the evidence of an attack on the institutions of our democracy and the peaceful transfer of power, that Congress, examining an attack on itself, is willing to report criminality. So
the gist of a lot of what people are saying is that, is it symbolic? What's going to happen? Are they going to? Is there even a point to the January 6th committee now that the DOJ has assigned a special prosecutor? And the thing that bothers me the most about this exact talking point, what's been going on with all this January 6th stuff, is because they, like just Adam Schiff, like he just said there, oh, it's not political. It wasn't political. That's insane. It was obviously political from the start. Everyone knew that. What they did was they put the January 6th committee on primetime television. What they did was they kept it in the front pages of the newspapers. They kept January 6th on for literally 18 months. More than that, 20 months after January 6th. Why? Why did they do that? They did it so they could win the 2022 midterm elections. And guess what? It worked. That's the annoying thing, is that they knew this entire time that they weren't going to get Trump. They may get Rudy Giuliani on some kind of obstruction charge. They may get Mark Meadows on some kind of perjury charge, yada, 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 blah, 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 which are all stemming from, it's the same story again and again and again, that Trump didn't collude with Russia, but somebody may have lied about something, yada, 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 unrelated to yada, yada, that has to do with Russia, that we only brought him in because we were asking him about Russia, but then we asked him an irrelevant question that he may have been less than forthright about, and that's what we're going to get him on. But still, we keep this stuff in the front pages of the New York Times. We keep the stuff on the front pages of the Washington Post. We keep this stuff in the front pages of CNN. We keep the stuff in the front pages of ABC, NBC, CBS. We're not talking about anything else. We're not talking about the Hunter Biden laptop. We're not talking about the COVID cover-ups. We're not talking about the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. We're not talking about all the garbage that the inflation, all the issues that have been going on for the past 2 years. They're not talking about it because they have only a finite amount of room on their front pages, only a finite amount of room on their home pages. So that's what they're talking about instead of talking about the real issues that are facing everyday Americans. And then they say, well, it wasn't political. We're not sure if we're going to do criminal referrals. We're not sure if we're going to have the subpoenas coming around and yada, yada. They put it in primetime television. What do you mean you're not even sure if you're going to have criminal referrals? There's obviously a crime, but we don't even need to do it because now the DOJ is putting things up. That's the insanity of the January 6th committee. That's been going on this entire time. It's mind-boggling that so many voters allowed this to, gave them permission to do this and continued to say to them, what you're doing is acceptable. Now, this is the major problem with the voting system as it is today, is that there's one little issue that's on the back of your mind that really has nothing to do with the person you're voting for, really has nothing to do with the office you're voting for. It's just a little issue that's on the back of your mind. You were scared into voting for somebody. You had your excuse to vote for somebody. That's the issue. And then somebody comes around to your house and says, hey, here, fill out this ballot, yada, yada. Are you worried about January 6th? Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's actually going to the polls thinking about actual issues that care about them. That's the problem with the corporate media. That's the problem with the inundation of attack ads on a specific issue. That's actually the problem with the fact that the Democrats have created this committee. They wouldn't allow an actual investigation into January 6th. They had a faux investigation, a sham investigation, in which they had the two useful idiots, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, decided to join in to make it bipartisan. Not at all. And that's what's been going on. That's what's been, and when they wanted to have Jim Jordan on there to ask real questions about January 6th, Nancy Pelosi kicked him off. That's what's been happening. So the idea that this hasn't been political, the idea that, well, we're going to make criminal referrals, but they're largely symbolic, is something that they have gotten away with it. They got away with the crime. The crime was getting themselves another election, getting themselves another term in as with the Senate majority, getting themselves they lost the House, okay, but they have 216 seats. What is it? There's 215 seats. They have a slim minority in the House. I'm not even sure if it's ever been this close in the House of Representatives. So they got away with it. The crime was done. We are all the suckers. And now they're sitting on the shows after the election, after everything's done. They're going into a new Congress, and now they could sit back and say, well, it's largely symbolic. Maybe they'll get a couple guys. You know, we sent this over to the DOJ. The DOJ took care of it. That's it. How many billions of dollars in free advertising did the Democrats get this election cycle? Billions with a B, because of this January 6th committee. And that's exactly what they knew they were doing the entire time. So you got played. We got played. This is what's been happening. And this is what I think is the biggest, most egregious part of the 2022 cycle. All right. That's why I wanted to focus only on the January 6th committee and not talk about Brittany Griner or Kristen Sinema, because this is infuriating. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check out my link tree in the description below. Make sure to visit all my social, follow us there, subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel.